I'm Kaylee, and this is my review of the play Lovers' Vows by Elizabeth Inchbald. Like many people, I decided to read Lovers' Vows because it is the play that is mentioned in Jane Austen's Mansfield Park. In Mansfield Park, various of the characters decide to put on this play, but it's very controversial because it deals with immorality. Fanny Price stands up and says, "I will not take part in this. This is not appropriate," but pretty much everybody else in the household participates in putting on this play. So of course that got me curious. My goodness, what is so immoral and terrible about this play? So of course I had to read it. Before I dive into all of my thoughts about Lovers' Vows, we're gonna reach back here to our booktuber shout out book, and I'm gonna shout out someone randomly. Today's shout out goes to L Thinks. I'll leave a link to their channel down in the description. Be sure to go over and subscribe to them. And please do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you love Jane Austen. So the play Lovers' Vows follows the sad fortunes of Agatha, who is forced to beg on the street. Her son Frederick returns from the army and finds his mother on the street begging. She confesses to her son that he is illegitimate and she does not have a birth certificate for him. She tells him that his true father is Baron Wildenheim, and Frederick vows to find his true father and force him to make reparations to his mother. Agatha is taken ill and some kindly cottagers welcome her into their home, while Frederick wanders the countryside begging. He meets some wealthy noblemen and he begs some money from them, not realizing that one of them is his father, Baron Wildenheim. Meanwhile, Baron Wildenheim's daughter, Amelia, is wondering which man should she marry, the wealthy count or her lowly tutor. There's really not much there to the plot. It's pretty straightforward most of the time. There's no surprises, there's no plot twists. It's just kind of, there it is. There is that slight case of mistaken identity when father and son don't know who the other person is for a little while, but that's resolved fairly quickly. They find out who the other person is and they meet and they talk, and it's like, okay, that was a letdown. And there's not really any suspense regarding Amelia deciding who she wants to marry either, because we find out pretty quickly that she's pretty much already made her decision, and she makes her decision clear to the audience right in the beginning, and then all she has to do is convince her father of her decision. The plot is just so simple that it's boring. It's very predictable. The characters spend most of their time crying, "Woe is me," and "alas," in a very dramatic fashion, and it's just really over the top. The dialogue is very uninspired. The characters just feel like cardboard. Now, there are a couple of good conversations, and there are a couple of really fun, witty lines, but most of the play is just very forgettable. I'm not surprised that Jane Austen made fun of it by including it in one of her books. And of course, the immoral part is that Frederick is an illegitimate son, and there's a lot of talk about the morality of having sex outside of marriage. The Count admits to having various affairs, and he just kind of laughs it off like it's no big deal, but then there are other characters who have very high integrity, very high morals, and they believe that it is a sin to have affairs outside of marriage. So there's a lot of different viewpoints as far as the morality, which I kind of understand why it was such a controversial play in Jane Austen's time. Because you could say this is an immoral play, there are characters who are acting immorally. But then also you could say, no, this is a moral play because there are characters who are standing up for what is right and they are denouncing the immoral character. So, there's a little bit of both. I think that the main objection that Fanny Price had to this play in Mansfield Park was just that she knew that her uncle would not approve of it, and she knew that it would bring various people in their household into intimate situations that were inappropriate, which is exactly what happened. So Fanny was right. The only part of the play that I really loved was the butler. There's this butler who loves to talk in rhyme. He writes this lengthy poetry for everything that happens throughout the day, and then he wants to recite it to everyone. And they are constantly telling him, just talk normally in prose. Just tell me what you came to tell me. But he just keeps reciting verses at them because he can't help it. It's really hilarious. And that was the only part of the play that I actually enjoyed. Overall, though, I just ended up giving it 3 stars. It's certainly not Shakespeare, but it was okay. It was fine. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what is some other play or poetry or book or something that is like not Jane Austen, but Jane Austen related that you have read because of Jane Austen. One of my favorite Jane Austen related that I've read is Romance of the Forest by Anne Radcliffe. That's the book that Harriet reads in Emma. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.